Alright, hi there. This is the interaction video number 2 for the Global Learning Project for TE 150. This is the interaction video talking about culture and motivation with our partners. I only asked a couple questions this time because I've been going over length on the videos, and I wanted to include a little bit of comparison to American stuff this time. The first one and we're supposed to be talking about like learning like styles and like just for example like reinforcement and punishment is the first thing we discussed as far as like in an educational setting. In a typical American household, you can see a lot of for example, if a kid were to be doing poorly in class, skipping homework, or doing badly on an exam, you could see video game time being taken away, or maybe not hanging out with their friends as much. You could also see the family maybe getting a tutor if they can afford one, or just kind of recommending some sort of after-school activity associated with the school to encourage them to do better in their classes. And on the flip side, if they're doing really well, I have seen in the past the family paying their kid, rewarding for that good behavior, whatever it is, for $50 for an A or something like that at the end of a semester, which is a cool reward for a kid to look forward to. Comparatively, in Bosnia, there's a lot more punishment. Their punishments are pretty similar. That's what Yasmin was saying. When they're getting bad grades, they're going to get the privileges taken away as well. But the privileges in Bosnia aren't quite the same. It's a lot more like just hanging out with friends, which is obviously really what kids want anyway. But they're not taking away electronics and stuff. Really hard to find some sort of tutor or anything to encourage, or any after school program to encourage better performance in class. But basically just taking away any extra free fun time for the kid to ensure that they're working on their schoolwork. And you're not really going to see too many positive reinforcements. They're not really going to get paid for their good performances because Bosnia is really poor. There's just not money for that kind of thing. Next thing we talked about was like self-regulation and having kids being responsible for themselves. In America, I feel like kids or adults teach kids responsibility, and we encourage interest. So if a kid is interested in a subject, you want to encourage that, because if they're interested in it, they're going to continue to learn about it on their own, even if you're not preaching it to them, which down the road is exactly what you want, because nobody's going to keep pushing you towards that goal. In Bosnia, it's a little bit different, but they're still teaching the same kind of principles. As I was saying, from a young age, they kind of allow kids to understand the cause and effect relationship in life. Basically allowing kids to teach themselves what they can or cannot do. That can be applied to school or at home, but if they see that a bad grade means they're not going to play with their friends, they can understand that relationship and take from that they need to do well and go from there. And the last one that we kind of talked about was just general motivations. In my second video, we talked a little bit about education is a bit different in Bosnia. There's not nearly as much higher education available. But talking like from a little kid perspective, in America, we have a lot of really big goals when we're young. being a sports star or like movie star or a doctor or the president or whatever. Fairly unreasonable for most of those things, but just big goals, nothing really overly realistic. But in Bosnia, they're very more straightforward. As far as the people who are staying, it's finding they're wanting to find a job that's going to pay the bills that they need to in order to meet ends meet. And he was saying, at least for those people who decide to stay in Bosnia, and as those people get older, maybe they develop their own family, a new goal for them could be coming to move to a different country or a different area or something to provide a better opportunity for their own family in the future. But for those who do stay, something he had said, which I thought was kind of interesting, basically as a status symbol for those people who have decided to like stick it out with Bosnia, even though they're doing really poorly right now, is buying land. It's like a status symbol saying like, we're with Bosnia, this is our country and whatnot. But that was what we discussed. Again, a lot of differences, but I definitely feel like I've learned a lot about Yasmin through our videos, and look forward to the reflection paper. Thanks.